it makes you wonder why they would approve it for direct use on food, but they do. Anyway, the validation study that was done on oil roasting almonds showed, as I mentioned, that if you roast the almonds in oil for 2 minutes or longer at 260 degrees or higher, you will get a 5-log reduction in salmonella, and that is considered to be good safe. Now, it isn't sterility. There may still be some there, but there won't be very darn many of them. That's about as far as I'd like to go with that.
Okay, well, the issue is that you had an issue in your production. You engaged your resources, proposed those study results to the FDA, received approval, and engaged that for the production of your food product. That's an outstanding process for a food producer to approach an agency, receive approval, and then engage that process. You know, as we look at food production, there are 2 types of food safety audits that go hand in hand with risk-based analysis. Those are both internal and external food safety audits. With your experience in over 1,500 food production facilities and 9,000 restaurants, can you review that briefly, the importance of internal and external food safety audits?
Oh, you bet. We conducted monthly internal audits at my last employer and all the food companies that I work for, actually. And it is a good way of identifying flaws in your system, things that need to be fixed. It might be something as simple as a hole in the wall someplace, which is not something you want because it could be a rodent harborage. But also that an internal audit has value because you can get different people to do it and different people see different things. Now, external audits have some value too, but as anybody who's undergone very many of them will tell you, it'll drive you wacky sometimes because there are so many auditing companies out there and they follow so many different systems that a lot of it is similar, but some of the things they come up with, they're unusual. Let's put it that way. For instance, one company that was doing an audit for a potential customer wanted to see our new ACA log, and I said, "Do you want to see what?" They said a new ACA log. That's an acronym that stands for Notice of Unusual Occurrence and Corrective Action. And the types of things that you would put on it would typically be a power outage. You put down the date it happened and the length of time and what you did to correct it and any way it might have messed up your production. So it certainly can have an impact on your asset plan and your food safety. But external audits do, as I said, have value, but the fact that there are so many different types out there, there are so many of them that go into more depth than others. It would be really nice if we could ever get to the point where there is one national standard. And the Food Marketing Institute has such a thing that they're working on. It's called FQS. That's SQF, use the wrong acronym. That stands for Safe Quality Food. And what it is a national standard that uses the same standards across the range of everything. All the food companies that produce various things from farm to fork, you might say. And the beauty of this system is that It has a national standard. It's being recognized by more and more food companies, and more food companies are going SQF. There is a national register for it, so you can go on the SQFI, that's Safe Quality Food Institute website, and find manufacturers that are certified as level 2 or level 3. Level 1 is prerequisites, everybody's got those. Level 2 means you've got a qualified and very functional HACCP program, and level 3 means you've gone even a step further with quality management. Your food quality program follows HACCP principles, and they've got a very interesting little risk analysis to conduct too. So it's something that I think every food manufacturer should give consideration to, because it looks like a really viable program. And one nice thing about it is it's part of the GFSI, or the Global Food Safety Initiative. That also includes such things as BRC, which is British Retail Consortium, and some other things. But the idea is they're all following essentially the same standards. And suppliers that have mainly domestic business would probably want to go SQF. Suppliers that have overseas business would probably want to do BRC. Now, I don't mean to be giving a commercial for either of these things, but they do have more value, I would say, than most food safety systems, simply because they're very standardized, and the auditors that are qualified to do the audits for these systems have to have experience in the specific areas that they're auditing. Now, I can cite an example where that was kind of a mistake. During the PCA audit, the Blakely, Georgia
that's the
plant
Peanut Corporation of America, right, Bill?
Yes, Peanut Corporation of America. The Blakely, Georgia plant was inspected by an inspector from the American Institute of Baking, a very well-respected food safety third-party auditor. Unfortunately, the guy they sent in had a great background in fruits and vegetables, but he knew nothing about peanuts. And he overlooked some very, very obvious things: holes in roofs, puddles of water inside the facility, and so on and so forth. So it didn't give AIB a very good reputation from doing that, and because PCA got a superior rating on this audit, they thought they didn't have any problems. Well, not quite. We all know what happened after that. And no auditor that I am aware of, excuse me?
Bill, you raised two fascinating issues. One, is increased documentation an indication of safer finished food products? And two, I'd like you to answer that one, and then we'll go back to the other question, which is a superior audit result something we can rely on from a consumer point of view?
Well,
so let's go with the
to your first point, increased documentation indicating a good food safety system, well, yes, but you have to look at more than just the documentation.